Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jenifer Jenkins. Thank you so much for stopping by. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you what I eat in a day. As most of you know, I've really changed my eating habits quite a bit. It's been about 6 months now. And basically, I've just cut out bready, starchy, grainy carbs. All the carbs that really don't have a lot of nutritional value. And I do want to say, in the beginning, it was kind of difficult to make that transition. And, at first I was like, wow, this is awful. I didn't realize how often I ate those types of foods. And so, yeah, it was a bit of a transition, but every day it gets so much easier. And right now, even as recent as like 2 weeks ago, I was still like, I do miss some of those other foods and stuff, but every single day, it's like I miss those foods less and less. And I think one of the biggest reasons is because I feel so great. Like physically, I just feel so good. And I don't want that to go away. I didn't realize that some of the foods that I was eating were causing me to feel a certain way. Like I mentioned in a video a few weeks ago that I had lower left back pain for about 6 years, like 5 to 6 years for sure. And I was trying to do yoga and I was trying to do all these things to relieve that back pain, and nothing would take it away. Since I've been eating like this, I have not felt that in so long. However, whenever I have cheat days, and I'm having less cheat days because I don't want to feel bad, and so it's an addicting way of eating, because of the way you feel. But anyway, whenever I do have cheat days, I'm reminded that I have that lower back pain because it'll act up again. It's so bizarre to me, but it just goes to show how important it is to feed our bodies properly, because it can almost be medicinal. Like it can have medicinal effects on our body when we eat the right foods. Now, I did want to mention also that the way I was eating before, I've always eaten low fat, low calorie. And I think that a lot of people, whenever I say that, they just assume that I go down the aisles of the grocery store and just pick everything prepackaged that says low fat on it. And that could not be further from the truth. The things that I was doing, like I would eat pasta, but pasta, it's not fattening. It can actually be low fat when you put the right things on it or you don't put certain things on it. So it's not the pasta that's fattening. It's some of the things that you put on. If you're going to douse your pasta in garlic butter, then you're going to make that pasta super fattening, So I would stay away from, a lot of butter, a lot of oils. I would bake things instead of fry things. Or if I were going to eat like a bowl of scrambled eggs, I would do like 4 egg whites and then 1 egg yolk or something like that. So like I said, it's not that I was just eating all low fat. Like I would do baked chips instead of regular chips. I would do like yogurt ranch instead of regular ranch because it was lower fat, lower calorie, and it still tasted good. However, on this diet, I don't have to reach for stuff like yogurt ranch, or things like light butter. I can eat regular butter, even though I still prefer light butter. And so I'm not, this new way of eating for me is not like a high fat, low carb. It's still a kind of moderate fat. I do eat more fat now than I ever have in the past. And that was a little bit of a mind trip for me because I've never done that before. I was always eating things that, like I said, I would eat egg whites and then 1 egg yolk because I wanted to limit the amount of fat. Or, of course, I wasn't going to be dousing my food in oils or butters and stuff like that. So it's a different way of eating, and it was, like I said, a little bit of a mind trip to eat things that are a lot higher in fat than I'm used to, but I still don't go overboard with the fat. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump in and let me show you what I'm eating today. Okay, so this right here is how I start every single day, with a giant tumbler of iced coffee. And I get asked really often how I make my iced coffee, so I'm about to tell you. But before I tell you, I do want to reiterate that this is not I'm not trying to practice a high-fat, low-carb diet. I'm definitely trying to eliminate certain carbs, and I'm definitely trying to intake less carbs, but I still eat fruits and vegetables, and then there are some carbs that I'm just not willing to give up. So I'm not trying to stay under a certain carb count or anything like that. I don't count the carbs. I am going to show you the carbs just in case you're interested, but I don't count carbs. I don't tally them up at the end of the day or anything like that. So anyway, the way that I make this iced coffee is I make some Folgers hazelnut, and I make it extra, extra strong. Like I pretty much triple the amount that you're supposed to use in order to make, you know, just a regular pot of coffee. So I make it extra strong because I know I'm going to be pouring it over a tumbler of ice. And when you do that, it's going to water it down. If you don't make it extra strong, it will just taste awful and, you know, like really watered down coffee. So, so that's what I do. I make some coffee, then I add my creamer, and I use probably about 3 tablespoons of this coffee mate creamer. I am not willing to give it up. It does have carbs. It has 2 carbs per 3/4 of a teaspoon. So in order to kind of offset this cream, because I'm always looking for a certain color, my coffee has to taste creamy and I want it to be a certain color. So in order to offset, you know, the carb count, I will use something like this. This is a French vanilla almond and coconut creamer. It has no carbs. It does have 1 gram of fat, 10 calories per 1 tablespoon. I'm not sure how much I add. I just kind of pour it in until it gets to be the color that I want it to be. Or I'll use this. This is just a plain almond and coconut creamer. Same brand, just one's French vanilla and then the other one's not. And then I use stevia because stevia has no carbs, no sugar. I don't prefer stevia. I prefer Truvia, but Truvia has carbs and sugar, so I've switched over to stevia. The only reason I don't prefer stevia is because I feel like you have to use a little bit more and it takes a while to dissolve, and that's just a little bit irritating, but it still tastes okay. So anyway, so that is how I make my iced coffee, and I will typically sip on that until I have, you know, my first bite of, you know, food. And that's usually at around, I don't know, 11 or 11:15. I've been eating a little bit earlier these days. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna drink right now, and I'll meet you back here, you know, at around 11 or so. Okay, so let's see, it's about 11:30 right now, and this is what I'm gonna have. This is typically what I have every single day after my iced coffee. I'm very habitual in the things that I do, and when something really works for me, and then I just stick with it, you know, and I don't mind eating the same thing every day. So anyway, this is just some pecans, some walnuts, and some almonds. I just grabbed like a little handful of each and put them in a little bowl. And yeah, I'll just have that, and that will typically hold me over till around lunchtime. Well, lunchtime for me is usually around 1:30 or 2 o'clock. And so yeah, so I'm gonna eat that, and then I will meet you back in here then. Okay, y'all, so this is what I'm having for lunch today, and on this plate I've got 3 boiled eggs cut up in little bite-sized pieces, and then I've got half of an avocado smushed with some garlic salt added to it, and then I just put a little dollop on each, you know, boiled egg bite. Then over here I have just some cucumbers with this Hidden Valley Ranch, and it's just regular, you know, ranch. It's got 2 grams of carbs and 1 gram of sugar per 2 tablespoons. I don't even think I have 2 tablespoons there. I don't like to drown my salads or vegetables or anything like that in ranch. I like a little bit, and so I feel like I have got too much right there, but the ones on the bottom don't have any, so I think it'll work out just fine. And then right here, you guys know I'm a DIY kind of girl. So what I've done, I like this Greek yogurt because it only has 5 grams of sugar in the entire container. It also has 5 grams of carbohydrates. It's got 16 grams of protein, and it has 80 calories and no fat. Now, I'm just not going to eat plain yogurt by itself because I don't think that would be very enjoyable. That would be like eating sour cream or something like that. So what I've done is I purchased these snow cone syrups. They're called skinny syrups. They have no calories, no fat, no sugar, no carbs, no nothing. I don't even know how they're made. But anyway, I originally bought these because I make snow cones for my children on Fridays. It's just how we like celebrate that it's the weekend. And so I wanted to get some sugar-free ones. So I have this one, and I also have a coconut one, and y'all, they are so delicious. So what I do is I just dump an entire container of this into a little bowl. I put 2 pumps of that, and it flavors it so perfectly, and it tastes like cotton candy, and it's so delicious. Now, I did want to mention that I also use this as a water enhancer. So I will make a giant tumbler of water, and then I will put 2 pumps of this into you know, into the tumbler, and then I'll add a little bit of stevia, and it is so delicious. And I just like anything that's cotton candy flavor. Now, I did want to mention they sell these sugar-free syrups in several different flavors, and there's so many others that I really want to try. So far, I've just tried the cotton candy and the coconut. But anyway, so yeah, that is what I'm going to be having for lunch today. Okay, so this right here is what I'm having for dinner. Doesn't this look so delicious? So I've got some sirloin right here. My husband grilled this out on the barbecue pit, and I like my steak medium rare. This is a little tiny bit overcooked, but I'm not gonna say anything because I just appreciate that he cooked it and I didn't have to. But so yeah, I like it really red. Then I have some tilapia over here. I baked that in the oven. I just put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on it, and then I seasoned it with these seasonings right here. This is called Johnny Gringo. It's a garlic butter. And then this is my absolute favorite for fish. I also put this on my shrimp. It's my local grocery store, H-E-B. It's called Fish Market Blackened Sea Salt and Smoked Paprika. It just offers the best flavor ever. Now, I did want to say, as far as the steak's concerned, I use this on all my meats, aside from fish. It's just a seasoned meat tenderizer, but I just love the flavor so much, so I just use it on all my meats. And then I put this on there also. It's just Johnny Gringo steak seasoning, and yeah, it's gonna be really good. Then I have some fresh baby carrots there with a little bit of this Hidden Valley Ranch dressing. I showed it to you earlier in this video. And then over here, I have some riced cauliflower. So it just comes in a bag like this. I accidentally opened it sideways. But anyway, you microwave it for 5 minutes. It comes out so good. It's kind of fluffy. Like the more you cook it, I feel like the more fluffy it gets. And then I just topped it with some 2% Colby Jack cheese, a bunch of salt, and then a lot of this, I can't believe it's not butter. And so, yeah. Now, one thing that I did want to say is that now that I have eliminated, you know, bready, starchy, grainy carbs, I always have 2 meats. So I don't always have these 2, but I guess, is fish considered a meat? I think so. But anyway, so I'll always have 2 meats, and like I said, they're not always these 2, but I typically have 2. So that right there is what I'm eating for dinner tonight. So I'm gonna go dig in before it gets cold. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. I hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend, and hopefully I will see you back here next week.